6:15. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The news edited by Katharine Pereira and read by Lavani Vijayatunga. First, we take a look at the headlines. The Prime Minister informs of the ordination of a large group of Thai nationals as Buddhist monks on Vesak Full Moon Poya Day next week. The 15th National War Heroes Day will be commemorated tomorrow. The Department of Irrigation says that several reservoirs in the island are overflowing due to the existing heavy rainy condition. State Minister Tharaka Balasuri says that data is being gathered regarding Sri Lankans who have mediated in the Russian-Ukraine war. And in news overseas, Putin and Xi no longer have a partnership of equals. Those are the headlines, and now let's move on to the details of the local news. Prime Minister Dinesh Gunawardena said that with the ordination of a large group of Thai Buddhists as Buddhist monks on Vesak Full Moon Poya Day next week, the religious ties that existed for centuries will reach a new high. He said this when Thai Ambassador Paitun Mahapompon called on him at the Temperatries in Colombo yesterday. Prime Minister extended his good wishes to Thai Prime Minister and the newly appointed Foreign Minister at this meeting. He reiterated the long-standing and cordial ties between the two countries, which are bounded by Buddhist affinity. The ambassador said that the new free trade agreement would give a boost to the economic ties between the two countries. He said a high-level investment team from Thailand had visited Sri Lanka last week to explore possibilities of new joint ventures in the fisheries sector, and next week another Thai team will come to discuss the potential for renewable energy projects. They will also visit the Oya and Yan Ala reservoir to examine the possibility of installing floating solar panels for generating electricity. The 15th National War Heroes Day will be commemorated tomorrow. The war heroes of the country defeated the LTT terrorism on the 19th of May 2019 and confirmed the territorial integrity of the country. The 15th anniversary of the war heroes will be conducted before the monument of the war heroes at the Sri Javadarbura Kote. Prime Minister Dinesh Gunawardena will participate as the chief guest of the event. Coinciding with the 15th Victory Day anniversary, 3,146 sailors will be promoted to their next ranks. This is the news from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. And we continue with more local news. The Department of Irrigation says that several reservoirs in the island are overflowing due to the existing heavy rainy condition. At present, the water capacity of all the reservoirs is at 75%. Meanwhile, the Department of Meteorology has issued an advisory warning that strong winds accompanied with heavy rains and very rough seas are likely over the sea areas around the country and over the southeastern Arabian Sea during the next few days. Naval and fishing communities are advised not to venture into the sea areas marked by red color on the map below until the further notice. Naval and fishing communities are also requested to be attentive to future forecasts issued by the Department of Meteorology in this regard. State Minister Tharaka Balasuri says that an analysis is being conducted regarding Sri Lankans who mediated in the Russian-Ukraine war. At present, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and the Ministry of Defence are collaborating to obtain data of Sri Lankans. It has been revealed that certain Sri Lankans entered Russia on tourist visas. Among them were a significant number of retired military personnel who served in the Triforces in Sri Lanka. State Minister for Foreign Affairs Tharaka Balasuri announced that President Ranil Wickremesinghe has issued directives for the dispatch of a specialized delegation to Russia to investigate the welfare of Sri Lankans amidst the ongoing Russian-Ukraine war. And to conclude the local news, the headlines once again. The Prime Minister informs of the ordination of a large group of Thai nationals as Buddhist monks on Vesak Full Moon Poya Day next week. The 15th National War Heroes Day will be commemorated tomorrow. The Department of Irrigation says that several reservoirs in the island are overflowing due to the existing heavy rainy condition. State Minister Tharaka Balasuri says that data is being gathered regarding Sri Lankans who have mediated in the Russian-Ukraine war. And that was the local news.
The main news story is brought to you by Sinhala Veda Mahatmya.
The main news story for this evening, the third stage of the first school term of the Sinhala, Tamil and Muslim schools for the year 2024 will begin on Monday. The third stage of the Sinhala and Tamil schools will end on the 31st of this month, and the third stage of the first term will end on the 20th of June. The second school term for the Sinhala and Tamil schools is scheduled to begin on the 3rd of June. And that was the main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Sinhala Vedamahatmya.
And it was like this evening, despite a recent dip in infections, the ongoing showers are likely to drive a rise in the dengue cases, health officials predicted. Dr. Sudat Samaravira, the director of the National Dengue Control Unit, said the local authorities and the health organizations continue to work tirelessly to combat the spread of dengue. Public awareness campaigns, mosquito control measures, and prompt medical assistance for those affected remain the key strategies in the battle against the disease, he stressed. That came to you in Watchlight, and now let's move on to the headlines of the world news. And the headlines, Putin and Xi no longer have a partnership of equals. Slovakia, a pivotal moment after Robert Fico's shooting. 7 dead after powerful storm slammed Houston in Texas. Those are the headlines, and now let's move on to the details of the world news. Vladimir Putin's state visit to China this week was a show of strength. It was a chance for the Russian president to prove to the world that he has a powerful ally in his corner. The Russian leader is widely regarded as a pariah after ordering the invasion of Ukraine. But to China's President Xi Jinping, he is a key partner in seeking a new order that is not led by the US. And Mr. Xi made his guest welcome. He rolled out the red carpet and the band played all Red Army songs, and cheering children greeted both leaders as they strolled through the Tiananmen Square. There was even a brief hug for the cameras. A month later, Robert Fico, Slovakia's populist leader, was filmed predicting political tensions were so acute a leading government politician would end up getting murdered. Then the Prime Minister himself was shot dead. Hit 4 times in the stomach and arm at close range as he greeted supporters in a small former mining town. Thunderstorms have killed at least 7 people and left more than 500,000 homes and businesses without power in southeastern Texas. Residents in the areas could be without power for weeks after Thursday's storm, which packed 110 meters per hour winds, said the officials. The deaths were mostly caused by downed trees, power lines and lightning. The storm has moved to the neighboring Louisiana with flood warnings in place for the Gulf Coast. In an update on Friday night, officials announced the death of 3 more people, taking the toll to 7. And that was the world news.
Development news.
Preschool Development Diploma will be initiated to the preschool teachers in the North Central Province. The University of Rajarata will provide its contribution to this program. A discussion in this regard was held under the Governor Mahipala Herath recently. It has been decided to conduct this diploma course in English medium. And that came to you in the segment of Development News.
Moving on with sports news.
Italy-based sprinter Yuban Abekon is set to compete in the 100 meters of the Roma Sprint Festival today. The national record holder in the 100 meters Abekon is yet to enter the Road to Paris Olympics rankings maintained by World Athletics. He needs to clock 10 seconds in the 100-meter dash to reach direct qualifying standards for the Olympics. His race will be held at 10:55 p.m. Sri Lanka time today. That is the sports news, business news coming up.
Go ekak thiyana youth eකට life එකේ change එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න ඇස් වහගෙන දැකපු හින හැබැ කරන්න youth එකට නියමෙට set වෙන friendship එක මෙන්න.
The all-new NSB Ithru Mithru account. NSB IM, a plan for your dream.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Sri Lanka monthly tea exports in April recorded 16.38 metric kilograms, showing an increase of 0.21 metric kilograms against the same period of the year 2023. Tea in bulk, together with the instant green, have shown improvement, while tea packers and tea bags have recorded a decline in comparison with the corresponding month of the previous year. Approximate FOB value records an increase of $0.86, while in Sri Lankan terms records a decline of 111.117 rupees against the year 2023. That was the business news. Economic news follows.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Go එකක් තියන youth එකට life එකේ change එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න ඇස් වහගෙන දැකපු හින හැබැයි කරන්න youth එකට නියමෙට set වෙන friendship එක මෙන්න.
The all-new NSB Ithru Mithru account, NSB IAM, a plan for your dream.
And in economic news, SLT Mobitel has reported a flat growth in Q1 of 2024, ending on March 31st amidst a challenging business environment. However, the company's proactive cost management initiatives have resulted in a significant operational cost savings, enabling it to maintain profitability. For the quarter, SLT Group has recorded a consolidated revenue of 23.93 billion rupees, reflecting a marginal 1.4% year-on-year increase. That was the economic news and the weather report to conclude.
Weather report.
And finally, on the weather report, showery and windy conditions are expected to enhance during the next few days from today due to pre-monsoonal conditions over the country and the surrounding sea areas. Cloudy skies can be expected over most parts of the island. Showers or thunder showers will occur at times in the western, Sabarkamur, central, northwestern and southern provinces and in the Mannar district. Showers or thunder showers will occur at several places elsewhere of the island after till noon. Heavy showers about 100 millimeters are likely at some places in the western, Sabarkamur and northwestern provinces and in the Gaul, Mathura, Kandy and Nuwara districts. Fairly strong winds about 40 km per hour can be expected at times in the southern province. And before we conclude this bulletin, let's get back to the headlines once again. The Prime Minister informs of the ordination of a large group of Thai nationals as Buddhist monks on Vesak Full Moon Poya Day next week. The 15th National War Heroes Day will be commemorated tomorrow. The Department of Irrigation says that several reservoirs in the island are overflowing due to the existing heavy rainy condition. State Minister Tharaka Balasuri says that data is being gathered regarding Sri Lankans who have mediated in the Russian-Ukraine war. And in news overseas, Putin and Xi no longer have a partnership of equals. And with that, we conclude this bulletin of news. And now it's going to be over to Ramesh, who is sitting in today to entertain you until the curtains come down.